Okay, guys, let's start our crypto updates. In last few weeks, the market been down for a bit slowly. Slowly, it was bleeding, and yesterday suddenly it actually start bleeding very fast. We just want to see what's happening in the crypto market and what's our expectation for upcoming weeks. So, start with the disclaimer. The disclaimer, as usual, trading is not a fun. It's just involve high risk, so it may not be suitable for everyone. So please contact your financial service advisor before you put any trade. This entire content is only for the educational purpose, and all the copyrights are of K5 Trading. After that, let's get out of this one and we move to the our chart. The first chart, what we are going to do is Bitcoin, and I want to start Bitcoin from the weekly time frame. So if you look at the weekly time frame, what we can see up here, it's a market is a kind of on the I would say it's in the distribution kind of mode from the upside. So, for example, you can consider this is the after that's for the kind of a buying climax, and then it's come as a selling climax. After that, we have a small spring up here and the secondary test, and then we got an upthrust, and the market is coming down since then. Since this upthrust, which was around 8th of November 2021, and since then, this market is constantly coming down, and it's touch around $68,000, and now currently it's trading about 35. So it's almost half of the value. Now you need to remember that this up move was started 19th of July 2021 when the price it was $29,000, and then market move upside. And if you can see very clearly, it's a three-wave move here. It's one, two, and the three, and everybody was expecting that's a market top, and we kind of expecting market to come down. So that's for the weekly view, and what we can see on the weekly view, that's the market is still well off the weekly support area, which is 29 30,000 K. It has been touched once twice, but and after that it hasn't touched that area. So this is a very strong area to watch, and let's see if the markets actually fall through our the daily support. Then my expectation it will come to the 29 area or 30,000 area. It's currently is about 5,000 off 1 or 2 days, and that will be done. Let's go to the daily time frame now. On the daily time frame, you can see a similar kind of a pattern at the smaller level, and that smaller level is for example, if I can just simply reset my chart, so you can see that area up here. What we got is can't see the chart. Okay, sorry guys, hang on. Let me see if you can see the chart. I can start again. Sorry. Can you see now? Okay, so it's overlay up here. 1 minute, hang on. Graphic and hide the overlay. Now you can see the chart. Okay, I will start again. Sorry. I will start again with the weekly time frame. I'm extremely sorry. I forgot to remove the overlay. And my chart window was up there. So I can't see the chart. Can you see now? Can you confirm with the sir? Yes. Okay, that's good. Right. So what I was talking is look at the weekly point of view. The market actually reached up to the $64,000, 19th April, and then it's come down on 17th of May. So it's in about a month's time. It's actually touched low to the 30 and then gone up is $68,000. And now since then, where the market is actually coming down slowly. If you look at those two patterns up here, what you can see on this chart, this is the weekly chart, by the way, and just look at up here. This high level pattern, this is a weekly level pattern, exactly the same as playing on the daily time frame, right? So I would say this weekly support is a very strong support, and if we fall through this daily support, then my target will be up to the $30,000, and that's probably this I'm expecting this is where it will actually hold and then bounce back to the upside. So is another thing what you need to notice here, that's the high volume activity up here, and even those market goes up and the market come down, the volume is significantly low as it's coming down, and it is actually the volume is slowly drying up. So I'm expecting the current sell off is it's a kind of the artificial sell off. People are trying to scare out the people from the market so they can start a fresh move upside. So watch out very carefully. If you are running on the loss, you can just try to cover your loss or do some hedging somewhere else. Especially if you got a forex account, you can try to do a short on the cryptos with the leverage account. That will be a good hedging strategy. If you don't have this thing, then you may actually just try to hedge something differently. But yeah, coming markets coming down very aggressively. It definitely people who actually have buy about 50 or $40,000, it's a bit worry for them. But that's the game of the crypto market, and that's the game of when you do the trading in the crypto. So let's go to the daily time frame now. And because for me is this area is very important. The reason why this area is very important for me is you can see the market start moving down, is coming down up here, and after that is stop around here, up around the $33,000 or $34,000 is actually stop, and that's I call the stopping volume. So this is for me a kind of a stopping volume because the second bar push the prices upside with the lower with the same volume activity. So on the if you look at on the weekly time frame or monthly time frame, that's kind of a stopping volume. And after that, the prices move upside. It's gone up to the 45,000, 47,000, and then it's coming down again. So this pattern is playing up right up here on the smaller time frame. So that's very interesting to see how it's the market, the nature, fractal nature of the market, whatever happening on the higher time frame, the same thing happening on the lower time frame as well. Okay, let's move to the daily time frame so we can do a little bit more detailed analysis up there. Okay, weekly time frame. What I have done is, if I can, let me reset this chart first and make it a little bit zoom out so we can see. I can show you what I want to see. I want to show you. So you can see this is the highest volume up here, and that's why I said is a kind of a stopping volume. And when I come on this area, this is the second highest volume after this one downside. This volume I don't consider because after that market come down. I don't consider this volume because that's a high side volume. But this is the area where I can consider the volume is high compared with this the left area, because after that market is not moving down, right? And if you want to compare the volume activities on this bar, okay, let's make it a little bit bigger. Because this is very important to understand the market. Now look at the volume activity on this bar up here. It's two bars. Combine these two bars with the volume activity of the yesterday. Almost the same kind of the volume, but look at your bar size up here and look at the bar size up here. So the bar size is a bit different. This is a quite wide range bar. That's about how much? It's a 14% wide range, right? And if you look at on this bar, from this area and this area is about 10. So you can see with the same volume activity, the prices could not move down, and that's indicate that someone is entering in the market and making some buys here. That's why they did not allow the prices to come down any further. That's very significant when you compare with this bar. Now let's go to compare with this another bar. So this bar, if you look it up here on this down bar, that's 7%. And look at the volume up here. So if you combine this volume, this is a slightly higher volume than this one. I think maybe this is about 80% of this one, but the market move here is smaller, and here is market move almost double. So I think that's about what was we seen up here. That's we seen up here is about 10. So yeah, so you can compare those volume activities, and you try to understand what's happening around here. What I can see is the buyers actually enter up here in the market and pushing the prices higher. That's showing by the volume, and the mark and the bar is not wide ranging coming down. What's happening today at the moment so far? We got 10 hours to go for the today's bar. Market is still resisting the previous day's low, and that previous day's lows. If we maintain that low, then it's mean that's what we said about this particular bar is this bar entering the market that will become true. So we need to wait for the second bar, today's bars, to complete. I'm consciously watching this the local support up here on the daily area, and after that my next target is up here 30,000. If the prices somehow push upside, uh, the upside, my resistance area is the key resistance area will be this one. I want to see that area is somehow it's hold, or it's a break before I can buy this one. So that's my key area to watch up here, which is 40,000. I'm going to look into the lower time frame tomorrow morning. That's if I can see any sign up here around this area. If the market is moving up, then it still is a very good move up here. So let's say, for example, if you manage to get buy somewhere around $37,000 and you sell off up to the 40,000, it's about $3,000 profit you can make on this one. That's a good move up here. So watch out on the lower time frame. Let's go to the 4 hour and see what's happening on the 4 hour. So you can see up here. Okay, that's look at this bar. 7% down with this volume, and the next bar is only 4% down. But look at the volume difference is a very small, right? If the volume if volume is very small, and if you got that much volume and compare the bar size, the range of the bar is a quite significantly. I think it's about 50% of this one, but the volume difference is only about 10-20%. So this is what I say, that someone is tapping into the market around here, stopping the market to go down, and they are entering in the market. So this is actually showing off. That's exactly the same characteristics. First of all, it's closing well off above the low, and the second thing is the bar size is smaller, where the volume comparatively higher, and that's a sign the market want to actually resist around this area. If you can just check on the H1, I'm just trying to see if I can see some entry. Right now, you can see after this bar up here, I can see small spring, but this is very sideways market. Don't know what's going to happen tonight. I think tonight is a little bit quiet comparatively yesterday. So tomorrow morning, I will see what's happened on the weekend. So that was our Bitcoin. I'm going to start with the Ethereum now. Ethereum is a little bit better in better position. Oh, where is Ethereum? Ethereum is here. Yeah. Okay, we start with the weekly time frame and see what's happened. I will draw this time all the support and resistance so you can see how I'm actually drawing. So my first area of the support I can see is this one, which is 17th of June. Yeah, it's 17th of January. And that will be my weekly low, I would say. And I will just actually simply put around this area up here. And that will be weekly high. Right? So that's what I got on the weekly time frame. Now, if you go back to the Bitcoin chart, and you see the Bitcoin does not have this kind of pattern, right? If you want to see that kind of pattern, you have to come back all the way up to the 17th of May. And if you can just simply go up here with the high volume activity, this one, and let's put the template is weekly support. Okay, weekly support, right? So that's our weekly support area, and sorry, not weekly support area, Wyckoff support area, and that's our resistance area for the Wyckoff resistance. And now you can see the kind of a pattern you were looking is inside and that's big one, and then it's a smaller one is coming up here. What I can see from for last about 5 weeks, that's the market is actually closing on the lower side, and that's the strong sign that the market want to come down. But the only problem, what I can see, the volume from here onward is lower compared with this up move, these three bars. So look at up here, those three bars, right? Only yesterday's volume was on, only this last week volume was higher. Otherwise, the volumes are lower compared with this one, right? Again, if you look at this area and then market, it's moving upside, and then when it's coming down, so you can see the volume on this part up here, compare the volume with this one. So low volume activity up here when the market is coming down, compared with this high volume activity up here. So that's where I can see that the Ethereum have a more chance of rebounding quicker than the Bitcoin. Or whenever the market will rebound, the quicker the Ethereum will fly off, while this the BTC will be a slow takeoff. So that's, you need to keep in mind those ones. Let's go to the daily time frame. Okay, on the daily time frame, what I can see, it's a very similar kind of pattern where we got on the Bitcoin, but the only problem is that the Bitcoin come right down to the lower part of this my entire channel where the Ethereum is in the kind of a middle. So that's a strong sign that's market is trying to show some resistance and some resistance to the support sides, and it's not ready to move down. Okay, let's have a look at some support areas up here on this part. Okay, so that was the high volume. That was the high volume activity, and after that's another area of support we can mark maybe up here, and that's I can see is well off up here. So that's volume activity again. Compare this one with those ones, right? It's a significantly the range is very short. So range is short means that the price is the buyers actually enter into the market. The one important thing what you need to understand, this two bar pattern which we call normally appears at the top of the market, and then market come down. So for example, if you look at up here, where is it? This is a similar one. It's not 100% perfect, but that's top reversal, and then market comes down. The another one I can see the top reversal is up here around this area. You can consider top reversal these two bars, and the market actually come down. That's this is very rare that you have those top reversal happening at the bottom area, and you need to pay attention to that one if this is happening. Even though that's I can see some supply is some buyers entering into the market, but today's market has already break the previous day's low. So that's a sign that maybe the altcoin will be bleeding a little bit faster than the Bitcoin. So that's mean that's Ethereum needs to come down a little bit faster than the Bitcoin. And you look at up here, what's happening? So it's a 2% down since yesterday, where the BTC is 1.77. So you can see that's especially you can see up here very clearly. Right. So this was the Ethereum. Let's have a look into the 4-hour time frame if we can pick up some signals. Okay, now I don't see any area up here where I can try to find some kind of a small move where we can make a few bucks, but there is none. All I can see is high volume activity, then followed by the low volume activity means this market is the supply is drying out here. But if it's coming down, it may have a final shakeout before it can go up, and that shakeout will be around this area. 2,400 or 2,500. This is where I'm expecting market to come down. Right now it's 26, so maybe another few $100 before it can pick up to go to the upside. After that, I want to look at the Solana because I can see some potential in Solana, especially on the daily time frame. So we just start with the weekly and see what pattern we can find out up here. It's a relatively new coin, and that's why there were less data. So, but we can try to work out as much as data we have. Right here, that's our support area. Straight away, we can find those support areas around here. This is high volume activities compared with those ones. This is market moving up, so I don't see those ones, but I will see from here onwards. This is the highest volume activity bar, this one and this one. So if we can put our resistance area around that one, and that's our support, and then we can move upside, and that's our resistance, right? The What you can see, this is closing lower, 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 and again the same. The yesterday's bar, last week's bar was closing in the middle, but today's this week's bar is closing lower, and that's today. I think is the last day for this week, so we can see if it is going to hold this $81 or not. Otherwise, we can easily target up to the 58 60 58 $60 for that one, and then you can move upside. But one thing I want to say, that's if we hold this area and prices start moving, the upside move I'm looking for up to the $140 $160. That's at least what I'm looking. uh, Here we got again on the daily time frame. Not much activities up here, but you can see again this is your selling climax up here. So if I can mark this one as my selling climax, hang on. Okay, so that's my selling climax. That's my kind of the automatic rally and then retest and then up thrust and then market is coming down. So again, the same thing, expecting the prices to hold up this level, which is 78, 75. If not, then we can look for $70 or a little bit lower up to 60 to $60. That, and the reason why we want to see for, I can see those $60 is because of this the weekly area, which I can see. That's one, especially around this area. There is a gap. There is a inefficiency of the price I can see up here, and that's maybe it can fill out. That's if it start coming down, so it may fill out this price inefficiency area. Yeah, that's this area I'm actually looking. It may fill out if it's gonna come down, and that's the price about $59 $60. Yeah, that's correct. So on the daily time frame, yeah, watch out for this one. I can see this volume activity is quite high compared with this one, and the bar size is smaller. So if you watch, if you measure the bar size, so if you measure the bar size of this one, that's 13%. And if you measure the bar size of this one, which is slightly low volume, but it's only 15%. So you can see with the low volume activity compared with this one, the bar size is smaller or almost the same. If you can consider, that's indicate that's the smart money is trying to play a game here, and what they're trying to do is trying to push, or they're trying to shake out the market, so the weekender actually can get out of the market and then they can go up here. This is what we need to see. The another evidence of this is, look at this bar. So this is 14, and what we got a volume is almost half than this one. This is also 14. This is also 14. So volume is almost half than this one, but to compare with this one, the volume is slightly higher and the bar size is lower. So that's is effort versus result is not actually justifying to themselves. So I would actually watching very very carefully on the lower time frame, maybe 4 hours or something. Every 4 hours, just keep an eye up here. When you see the market reversing, then you can enter into the market. How do you know is the market reversing? So I can give you one clue if you want to see those clues. If these are the my buy patterns, so I will actually look for those buy patterns around around the area, around the support area. And when these buy patterns appears, I will try to evaluate it and I will enter my enter into the market. You can see I have put the entry and stop loss, all those well defined. So I will be looking those one of those buy pattern. It will be around this area, right? If when is it start moving? So the way you need to see the prices is coming down. When the two bars coming down and the third bar start going up, then you start looking those patterns and try to work out your entry point. Low volume activity, maybe the middle bar, and then it's going to go upside. So yeah, that's the 4 hours. So you can see uh, this pattern is starting to play up, but this bar is not close. So I can't say that's it's my pattern is completed. If I can show again those patterns, look at here. So what I said, the bar number 2 has to close below the low of the bar number 1. Uh, so bar number 2 has closed the low of the bar number 1, and the third bar, what it says, the bar number 3 has to close above the high of the bar number 2, which has not happened yet. Okay. So this bar needs to close above this one before this pattern actually get validated and we can have an entry. Right now we still don't have it, so we will wait for that. The last the crypto I want to see is the BNB. The BNB on the weekly time frame, if you can start looking from there, similar kind of activities, all those sideways market up here. So because I'm looking for the short term entry on the BNB, so I will just try to work out the very close entry around this area and then go straight into the daily time frame. Okay, so that's my daily time frame, and you can see the high volume activity is on this around this area. So that will be my support area and support, and then I can see kind of automatic rally around here. So that's another one, another my automatic rally, and then prices come down. That's my upthrust, and then the prices is coming down. So this is a similar pattern what we see on the Bitcoin on the daily time frame. It just doesn't have the similar pattern on the weekly time frame, but that's where I'm actually seeing how I need to enter into the market. That's a small kind of upthrust I can see up here. Sorry, the spring I can see up here, but it's not confirmed yet. We need to wait for that. That was the quite significant move down, and look at the volume activity compared with this where our high volume activity is here. So the BNB is a little bit volatile than the other currencies, but whenever it's ready to move upside, that will give a potential maybe around 380, 385 up to 440, 450. So these are the Bitcoin. If you guys have any question, just put in the chat and I will try to answer. Or is any coin you want to see? Okay, I don't see any. So that's all. Thanks very much for the watching. I will upload once the video is processed, I will share the link in the group so those who haven't attended, they can watch it. Thanks very much.